So this is the ridiculousness we're dealing with right now. This is one cast.
Pump up action. Active. Some, and new tactics. Wow. Woo. Look at that. I didn't see him. Oh my god, he's a monster! Yum. It was already a flood. This is a private balcony in which no one can see you. So as an adult, you figure out what you want to do with that.
Alright, so we are going to dive into our review of Barcelo Maya Grand Resort. We actually stayed over at the Barcelo Maya Caribe. So full disclosure, like backstory and everything, we actually booked Hotel Occidental at XCARET. And the reasoning was we were going to go to explore in XCARET during our stay. With that being said, they said they were over capacity, so they were going to move us over to the Barcelo Maya Grand Resort. Now, they originally told us we were going to be at the Colonial, but we ended up, like I said, at the Caribe. So the thing that stood out about Barcelo Maya Grand Resort was that there were so many different buildings attached. On the base level, there is 4 different buildings. There's the Caribe, Colonial, Beach, and Tropical, all of which you have access to when you're on any of these properties. Now, there's 2 additional ones, which is the Palace and the Riviera. Now, both of those are like upgrades, essentially. One's an adults only, and the other one's just nicer. So they have their own special things going on at their resorts. However, you can pay extra money to have access to most of those things. But outside of that, they had tons of options for those 4 resorts in and of itself. They had tons of water slides, water parks, surfing, haunted houses, shopping, bars, restaurants. So overall, we felt like there was a lot to do here. We just got to the room. So we got a little closet here. Over here is going to be the bathroom. We've got toilet room, sink, and a pretty weird but cool shower. Keep going through the room. We've got this little thing, a bed, a couch. I think we have like a little, let's see, like a little drink section right here, and our patio, which looks pretty dope. I haven't been out here yet. Let's see if I can figure this one out. I did. Okay, good me. So we got a little set of chairs and our view. All right. amazing. But it looks so good. So cute. So stylish. It was only $18 for this bottle. I'm into it. And it's got a mysterious powder in the pouch. I'm guessing it's like chili lime or something. Could be drugs. Who knows? Here we go. Oh! 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 I'm gonna tie a sombrero. He's always got something to say. Look at how cute he is. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. We booked Hotel Occidental about 3 months ago, and our reservations, we got an email about 3 weeks ago saying that COVID rules changed and they were going to move us to one of their sister resorts, which was the Colonial here. I called them. I was pretty upset because the reason I was booking Occidental is because I was planning to go to XCARET and explore. They said there's nothing they can do, that we had to be transferred because they just didn't have the room. I'm like, okay. So I kind of settle in. I look out the resort. I'm like, all right, the pictures looked pretty good. I'm like, okay, it's going to be fine. So I called them about 4 times because there was a bit of a language barrier over the phone, which is fair. But so I called them to confirm like 4 times because I wanted to make sure my transport was going to the right area. So they kept saying this resort, but I saw multiple hotels. So I'm like, where am I supposed to go? I didn't know exactly how far apart they were. So I'm like, which one am I going to? So they said Colonial, for sure Colonial. This was about 3 days before we traveled here. I get to Colonial after flying into Cancun. I've only been to Mexico 3 times. So I get to Colonial. They tell me they have no record of my reservation, that it was canceled by Occidental, who said that they canceled Colonial and kept our spot at Occidental. We're now here at this place, far from Occidental. It's like 20-minute drive or something like that. So they're like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I kind of already expected to be here. So I was like, I guess, can I just stay at Colonial? They're like, no, we're sold out. So they said, go next door to beach. The beach one had a room open, but we had to go to the lobby of this one that we're staying at or whatever to check in because their lobby was down or something. Okay, so we get there. We've now wasted about, I'd say, an hour and a half talking to Colonial and them talking to XCARET, Occidental. So we get here. Nobody knows what's going on. He said, all you got to do is just go over there and check in. I get over there. Nobody communicated with that staff at all. As far as the ones I talked to, which was like 4 people I got passed between. So I finally get a manager after wasting another 45 minutes, an hour of me being in Mexico. Finally get a manager who says, go do dinner. She's like, are you hungry? I'm like, yeah, duh. I've been traveling all day. So I'm like, yeah. So she says, well, go get dinner. I'm going to have your room cleaned and I'm going to talk to Occidental because apparently that, never happened according to them, which was weird because that's what we waited on at freaking Colonial. But anyways, so we waste about an hour going to do whatever. We got like food and drinks and whatever. So we come back to check in. We're waiting again. So now it's been, I think we're about 4 hours deep at this point of not getting checked in, possibly 5. She comes up. She says, okay, we're going to check you in. We have this one, this room or whatever. It's a base level room. This place is cheaper by about $50 a night than the place that we booked, and they did not offer any kind of refund, any kind of difference, any kind of upgrade. They were just like, well, take it or leave it. You can go to Occidental or stay here. Then our key card didn't work late last night. So we go to get a new key card. That didn't work. We're at the very end of the resort, so we have to walk like a long duration to get back. So we got first key card, didn't work at all. Second key card, go and get 2 of them. Both of those didn't work. Finally, we get 2 new key cards. Those finally work. Our room is rocking about 79 degrees. It will not cool down more than that. We climb into bed and there are literally crumbs, like hunks of food underneath my pillow, where it's a little confusing because what was the hour and a half spent on that the maid was supposed to be cleaning here? That is freaking disgusting. And it's COVID. It's like, what the hell else did they not clean in this room? So, I think it's fair to say this has been a very unpleasant experience. I like to keep these reviews as honest as possible, and I really hate when I have something negative to say, but this was literally, I've traveled a lot my entire life. I'm huge into traveling. This is the worst experience I've ever had at any hotel, and it's a resort. So there's a lot to do here. Seemingly it would have been a great time, but unfortunately they can't get the bare basics done. Oh, and I forgot to mention, did you know that if you remove your card from the door, so when you go to leave to take your card to lock your room, your power shuts off. So that's just a fun little fact. All your air conditioning comes to a screeching halt the moment you leave the room. So that's fun. Yeah, we will never be booking here. We're canceling the trip and we are moving towards Cancun because fuck this place. I genuinely hate leaving a negative review for places. We travel and we eat locations because we want to have a good time. There's only been one other incident yet where we've had a primarily negative review. This hotel didn't have a horrible rating, so I'm sure there's a lot of people that have had a great experience here. But with that being said, we just have to leave like an absolutely honest, this is what happened with us experience, because it is. Barcelo had a lot to do on site. The problem for us was literally just the bare basics of the resort. The actual hotel element was definitely lacking, as was the customer service. But there are tons of people who've had a very good time at this resort. With that being said, I want to kind of tell you guys where to go next, because if I was watching this review, I'd be like, okay, now what? So, we have done a lot of reviews for other resorts in the general vicinity, all of which are in Cancun, so just slightly up north from where we are now. I would highly recommend, for something in the same price range, we're about to release our Royal Sands review, which was phenomenal. We also have been to Secrets of the Vine and Hyatt. Those are both a little bit more expensive than this resort, but they are so worth it. So maybe bop on over, check out one of our other review videos, and I hope you have an amazing time in Mexico.